Website architecture. Website architecture basically defines the design and structure of a website. A website contains two important parts, the front end and the back end. The front end of any website is something the user came across. We can also state it as the client side of any website. Whatever the user of the website sees while going through any particular website is considered as front end. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are the three most popular and mainly used technologies which are responsible for the development of the graphical user interface. The combination of these three technologies is responsible for giving a smooth and appealing user experience. On the other hand, anything the user doesn't witness while going through the website but actually exists somewhere in the website and the server is known as the backend of a website. Whenever we visit a page and send a request for the content, the server goes through the database and then creates a response that is sent back to the browser. The browser then interprets the response and displays the content on the screen. Several technologies are used for back-end development. Few of them are JavaScript frameworks like Node.js and Next.js, Python frameworks like Django, Ruby frameworks like Ruby on Rails, C++ frameworks like Apache, and many more other technologies. Let's move ahead and we'll now go through what HTML is. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Introduced in the year 1993 by Tim Berners-Lee, the same person who invented the World Wide Web in the year 1989. The first version of HTML was written in 1991 but released later in 1993 as HTML 1.0. HTML got many updates with time and the current ongoing version of HTML is HTML 5.0. HTML is also known as the most basic building block of the web, which is used to create the structure of any website with the help of numerous predefined tags. It helps the browser to understand the structure and style of a document or file for viewing over the internet. It allows our web pages to host videos, images, and other applications. It also facilitates navigation within web pages or between websites through hypertext. Hypertext refers to the links present in any website to connect different web pages and create a whole website. HTML has a lot of use cases. Web development. HTML code is used to design how a browser displays web page elements such as text, hyperlinks, and media files. Internet navigation. Users can easily navigate and insert links between related pages and websites as HTML is heavily used to embed hyperlinks. Web documentations. HTML makes it possible to organize and format documents similarly to Microsoft Word. Moving on to the installation part. HTML does not require any special software to work. If you have Notepad installed in your system, that's enough to start using HTML. The best part about HTML is its ease of use. Let's move on to the editors part now, and we'll then download a particular editor for a complete HTML playlist. An editor or IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment, is a software application that comprehends facilities to a programmer for software development. Just like Photoshop makes it easier to edit photos, in the same way, IDE makes it easier for a programmer to write code. The number of IDEs present in the market today is huge. Some of these editors are Notepad++, Atom, and VS Code. These editors are free to use. On the other hand, editors like Sublime are free but with some limitations. To access all the features of Sublime, we have to go for the premium version for the license, and then we can use it for software development. My personal choice for an editor is the Visual Studio Code. There is a reason behind using VS Code as an editor. Let me tell you a few advantages of VS Code over other editors. First of all, it is free to use as it is open source software, so we can get it at no cost. It supports multiple programming languages. There's nothing like we need any web support or work on different editors for different programming languages. We can use VS Code for different languages as well. Extensions are also one of the main reasons behind using VS Code. Suppose we want to use a programming language, it does not support. All we have to do is to add an extension and we are good to go. It also does not affect the editor's speed as it runs as a different process. Besides all these properties, one main key factor behind using VS Code is its availability in different platforms, like it is available for Mac, Linux and Windows. So I think there are enough features we have discussed till now. There are many more features that we'll discuss while installing and working with VS Code. Let's start with the installation part now. The installation process for VS Code is pretty simple. Just go to Google and write here VS Code. Press enter and the next page which will open will show us the results. Click on the first link over here and we are here at the website of VS Code. Right. Now you can see the download button in front of your screen. You can click on it and you can download the stable version for your operating system from here only, or you can go to the other download button present at the top right corner of your screen. Click on the button over here. So you can see here we have all the extensions as well. These are the top extensions. We have to download them inside VS Code once the downloading part overs. So here you can see the download starts. Now sit back and relax until the download finishes. Once the download completes, open the setup file from your downloads and it will take us to the license agreement page. Now agree over here, click on next and it will take us to the browser part. So here what we have to do is we have to choose a location for the VS Code file to locate. So you can choose any location. So for now I'm clicking on next over here. Now you can see we have a different folder, so we can click on browse and then select it and then click on next. So here we can see we have some additional features. So what we'll do is we'll create a desktop icon. Now you can see other options as well, so click on them as well, click on next and now click on install. The installation will start. Once we are done with the installation part, click on finish and the VS Code will start automatically. Fine. So here you can see we have the welcome page over here. What we can do is we can open a folder from here. So if you have any folder, so what we can do is we can open it from here. Now what we'll do is we'll create a new file. So here you can see we are in a file. What we have to do is we have to save this file now. So click on file, click on save, and now we can save this file at any place or any location we can see. So what we are going to do is we are going to go on desktop. We are going to create a new folder over here. We are going to name it as HTML. Now inside HTML, what we are going to do is we are going to write here the name of our file. So we'll write here first, then we'll write here the extension. So what we have to do is we have to write here first.html, and here you can see we have an HTML file over here. Right. So you can see we have 4 options over here. The first one is for opening a folder or any particular location. So click on open folder. Now what we are going to do is we are going to open HTML over here, and you can see we have the HTML folder open. Now we have the file over here as first.html, which we created recently. Then we have the search button over here to search anything or to replace anything. The next button we have over here is for the source control. Then after this we have the debug button as well, and then we have the extensions. So these are the features VS Code provides us, and below here we have the accounts option and the settings option. What we can do from here is we can change the font size and different settings, right? Now the next button we are going to discuss is the extensions button. Here we can find many extensions given by the VS Code Studio community. They are free to use. So for now we'll use these 2 or 3 extensions. So what we can do is we'll click on HTML CSS support. So you can see I have already installed these extensions over here. So then we have JavaScript and TypeScript nightly and the live server extension. So this extension is pretty important, the live server one and the HTML CSS support. You can leave the JavaScript and TypeScript nightly for now. So we have to install these 2 extensions for now. So I have already installed it. You can install them in your computer. Now the next thing we have to do is, so we can start writing our code here on. I've already told you that while saving any file, make sure that we are saving that file with a .html extension. So what we have to do here is we have to put an exclamation mark over here and press enter, and you can see we have the basic HTML code which we'll need in almost every project. We can simply start with it if we have basic computer knowledge. We got you covered if you are a newbie to HTML. Please stay connected with us and you guys will understand HTML in a very fun and exciting way. Before we go through the different tags present in HTML, let's discuss what a tag is. A tag refers to a special word wrapped in angular brackets which are used to define a particular type of content on a web page. After using a tag in an HTML file, the browser decides how to render or display the content on the screen. The list of tags present in HTML is pretty huge. We'll go through some basic tags in today's video and we'll go through the remaining tags while working with them. So let's start with the most basic tag we have in HTML. You can see here we have a basic program written over here. All the tags mentioned over here are mandatory for all HTML programs. The first thing we have here is the doc type as HTML. You can see it over here. We have written doc type HTML. So this is not an HTML tag but an instruction for the system about the type of document. Basically, we are telling the system that this is going to be an HTML document so that all the browsers can know that this particular document is an HTML document and work accordingly. The next tag we have here is the HTML tag. You can see the HTML tag starts from here and goes till end, right? We have ended this HTML tag at the end of our HTML document. Now this tag is necessary for all HTML documents. If we are working on an HTML document, then this tag is what we are going to need. The HTML tag represents the root and the end of the whole document. This is a container tag that contains all the other tags within it. So this tag is pretty mandatory in all HTML documents. Now the next tag we have here is the head tag. You can see the head tag over here and the ending of this head tag is present over here. We have certain tags present inside this particular tag. Now you can see that this head tag contains meta tags and the title tag, right? You can see the meta tag over here. We have 3 meta tags and then we have a title tag as well. Now the meta tags doesn't appear on the page itself but only in the page's source code. Meta tags are essentially little content descriptors that help search engines what a web page is all about. Now the next tag we have here is the title tag. The title tag is used to define the title of our web page. Basically, we write the name of our web page inside this tag. For example, if we see here, the title of our web page is document for now. If we change the title of this HTML document and write here something like first document. Fine. Now save the program, open it with live server. Now you can see it over here that the window name is changed to first document. There is no change in the web page itself. So what we are going to do is we are going to reduce the size of our VS Code and the browser. We are going to keep them side by side here so that any changes we made in this HTML document are reflected in the web browser. Other tags we can use inside the head tag are the style tag, the script tag, and the link tag. Now the link tag is used to link any external CSS file to a HTML page. We have to provide the source of that file and then any styling changes we make in that particular file will get reflected in the web page. For that, so let's create a CSS file first. What we are going to do is we are going to create another file over here. Let's name it as style.css. Now this particular file has .css as extension. This will tell the browser that this particular file is a CSS file and we are going to use it for styling purposes. Fine. So we have this style.css over here. Now we are going to link this with our HTML document. For that, what we have to do is we have to write here link. So this is the tag. Now we have to write here rel and we have to write here style sheet. Fine. Now the next thing we have to do is to provide the source code of this particular file. So for that we are going to use href. Href is going to be style.css. Now close this link tag. Now this rel tag over here specifies the relationship between the current document and the link document. Now